Hey everyone, it's SGLaman, and welcome back to another video game review. This time we're going to be reviewing the collection of 3D platformers remade by Vicarious Visions and Activision, Crash Bandicoot the Sane Trilogy. So this is going to be a different review for me. I've never really reviewed a collection of games, so we will see how this goes. As far as my memories of Crash Bandicoot, I never played the games growing up. The only real memory I have is that my cousin really liked the games, and I seen him playing 2 or 3. I don't remember which, but I went over and I seen him playing it once. So I'm going to have a pretty cool perspective being a newcomer to the series. And I'll start with how the game looks, and I really like how the game looks. Vicarious Visions did a really good job of modernizing the Crash games. They started off as polygonal, and now they look crisp and neat. I like the visual aesthetic. It's very colorful and like very jungly and cartoony. And even in the third one, because of the time travel in the third one, even though they went to a bunch of different locations, they did a good job of giving each one a unique feel, but still having it kind of in the same universe is the best way I could put it. So just a really good job on that. And also, I would like to say that the game has really good animations, especially the facial animations. They just kind of have like a stretchy feel to them. That's kind of the best way I can put it, really. But yeah, they just kind of keep that cartoonish vibe to it, and I don't know, just a lot of effort went into the animations. Even during gameplay, like Crash looks good, and all the enemies look good when they animate. So I don't know, just something to keep an eye out on. And as far as how the game ran, I think they said it was 30 FPS, and it ran fine for me. I think I only dropped frames once, and really it across all 3 games. So, I don't know. If you're into that, then that's kind of where that's kind of how my PS4 ran, and I have a launch PS4. And as far as the music, I think it's fine. The only real standouts are the 2, what am I thinking of? The theme songs for Crash 1 and 3. Other than that, the music just kind of is there. It sets the tone for the levels, but nothing really just stands out. So yeah, the music just gets its job done. And as I said, I didn't play the games growing up, but from what I understand, just listening to people that have played the games before, the games pretty much play like they did back then. So the games follow the same basic format. You go through 3D levels. Sometimes there are 2D levels, and you just get to the end. In 2 and 3, there are crystals to find in each level. In the first one, there is a crystal you can find, but mainly you just got to get to the end of the level. And you also collect things along the way, such as Wampa fruits, and there's gems and stuff that you can get. And I think I already said that. And also, there's a bunch of boxes, and you got to destroy the boxes to get a gem. Some of the boxes are, just general boxes. Some of them actually give you things, and some of the boxes are bad and will blow up on you when you touch them. So, yeah, all the games are like that. Then the games are generally fun. A couple issues I had with the games in general is that since this is early 3D, the perspective can be off, and sometimes whenever I thought I would land perfectly on a platform, I'd either overshoot it or I would undershoot it. And yeah, that's a big problem. And the hitboxes are kind of weird. Sometimes I didn't even think I'd come close to an enemy and I'd hit them anyway. And sometimes when I swear I would have hit an enemy, I would die. So yeah, that's also a pretty big problem. But then as far as the individual games, the first one is very brutal. And I know that there's been this whole thing about, Crash Bandicoot's harder than Dark Souls. which, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. That's comparing apples to oranges. But the reason why the first one is hard is because just like I said, bad design. There's a bunch of platforms that are just hard to get to, and just a lot of perspective things and enemy placements and stuff that are just bad. I mean, that's just the general way I could describe it, is that it's just bad design. But 2 and 3, they mitigate that quite a bit. I think 2 is my favorite because it's the right balance between challenge and fun, I guess is the best way I could put it. And 3 is, I like 3. My only problem with it, though, is that it has a lot of vehicle missions. And 2 had like jetpack stuff, but you only got to the jetpacks near the end of the game, and it was only in like 2 levels. And the final fight with Dr. Cortex, which, I mean, that was bad in its own. But for the most part, 2 knew what it wanted to do, and it was just refining of the first one, and also the addition of the slide jump, and just the slide in general really helps out a lot. And so, yeah, in that way I like 2. 3 is pretty cool because it introduces more of a story, and there is some really fun levels in there, but the underwater stuff and the vehicle stuff, just, I didn't like it. So, yeah, 1, like I said, archaic. If you plan on getting this, you don't need to go back to 1. But 2 and 3 are genuinely great games. So, yeah, that's all I had in my notes. Sorry, I kind of had a brain fart there. So, yeah, now I'll just get on to my final thoughts. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, is great. It has 2.5 great games, and like I said, you can go back to 1 if you want. It's really hard and doesn't really hold up that well. 2 and 3 are great games and are worth revisiting, and they look better than ever, and they sound great as well. So, for $40, if you're looking for a trip down memory lane, I would highly recommend giving a look to this collection. Anyway, that is it for this review. If you liked what you've seen, you can go ahead and like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to my channel for more game reviews, streams, and all the good gaming stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.